Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We are officially 4 weeks out from my first show, and there's so much to do, and I'm not referring to my workouts, cardio, or food. I'm talking about things that will either make or break this day. So, I want to talk a little bit more on the things I'm doing as I get closer to the show because there's so many details in preparing for a bikini competition that a lot of things I had to be researching as I went on, but I want to share with you just a little bit of this because there's a lot of budgeting involved and you have to be mentally prepared as you prep for a show because you don't want to jump in and have all these payments towards the end, even though a lot of the things are finalized afterwards. There are some things that you can do throughout the prep. So let's dive in on a little bit of things I've noticed as a first time competitor in both what I need to do final and what I've noticed throughout this prep. So let's get started. First, before you begin a prep, you need to look for a coach. A coach is the most important part of this, in my opinion, because it has to be someone that really understands you. My coach really understands me. We've done blood work. We talk about how I feel every single check in. We really have made a connection in really understanding what really works for my body compared to other people that just give like a meal plan and just don't really care. So, very important to feel good throughout the entire prep and to have someone that has your back. That's one thing. Number two, the coach may offer just a meal plan or they may offer meal plans with a workout. Typically, it's both, but it just depends. And some include posing, but others don't. And posing is something very important to do from the beginning of the prep because your body is going to be changing throughout. As I've told you in the other video where I showed the posing, I'm going to share right here if you haven't seen it. But there, you tweak it weekly, if not daily, depending on how your body looks. So that is something else to consider because posing coaches are a little bit expensive. It depends on what you need, how many sessions you need as well, where they're located. Some people are located online and only do a Zoom call for about 30 minutes, while other people are in person and do even an hour or more. And it depends on the budget, who it is, but typically, from what I've seen, posing coaches charge between $50 to $200 per session. So that just depends on your budget and how much help you really think you need for that day. Then the diet itself, you have a lot of protein, a lot of supplements like aminos, multivitamins, omega, all of that jazz adds up. They're nothing is cheap, and also you're eating a lot of vegetables and whole foods. Whole foods are usually more expensive than processed food currently, yes. And something else to consider is that if you don't have time and you get something like pre-made or a meal plan, or like pre-chopped stuff in like the fresh section, that's slightly a little bit more expensive. Also, if things are organic or not, all depends. A lot of people do decide to go very organic and very natural because you're absorbing everything in your body and utilizing it. So you want the most optimal fuel. So all of that is to be considered on how much you're spending with your diet, as well as how much food you're intaking, how much cardio. It's just person to person dependent, but that's something else that you have to put into account. Now, as I got closer to the show about 1 month ago, I designed my suit and it finally came in yesterday. So it came on time and I was honestly scared because I had ordered a size large for the top because they said that it runs small and I was originally like a 34C, but I've gotten down, like, I've leaned down, so I was like so scared, but it fit perfectly and it looks so beautiful. I don't want to share how the suit looks because I want to see it myself as well, like everything in the videos and have that special moment with you guys. So I'll share that when the time comes to have that reaction with you guys, right? But the bottoms fit perfectly as well. Some people say that they have to glue it. I don't know if I have to glue anything because I honestly don't want to. I heard that it's hard to like remove the glue and it doesn't want to come off. But everything was snug. We'll see as we get closer to the show if I lean down anymore. But a suit is very personal. Some people rent them out if they have the proper size. But I invested in my suit because for me, it's like a trophy itself. And it was quite expensive, but suits can be between 200 to 1,000 ish dollars. And mine was in above 500. I don't remember the exact price, but it was about 500. That's what I have to say. But it's beautiful and the material, everything, the gems are not supposed to come off. So I'm taking care of it. But still, that's something else is the suit, depending on the jewels, the company, what you want personally in it determines the price. Then the heels is something else that is money as well. That's roughly 100 something dollars. You can most likely get a discount code by some ambassadors. I'm not one, so I paid full price. But that is something else that you have to consider. I have two pairs of heels, one as backup, so you should always have backup. I don't have a backup suit right now, but maybe down the line when I continue competing, then I shall get a different suit. And then we have two options, another color, and I am so excited to see what's the next color as well. And then the hair and makeup. So hair and makeup, you do have to book at least a month out because they start getting appointments and you don't want to be running late or anything like that. Also, you can do it yourself, but since it's my first show, I don't know what to expect and I want everything to be flawless. I want to feel at ease, my cortisol levels down. So I decided to invest in getting my hair and makeup done. I also got some hair extensions. I got these off of Amazon. I'm gonna put the link down below because I think they deserve to be recognized. They are the perfect color for me. They bring 7 in each pack. I got another pack because I thought it was still a little bit stringy for my hair. I have very fine hair. But for 7, it was like roughly between 40 or $50. And when I went to my local stores, they were in the 200s for 5. And here I have 14 for half the price. So something else to consider is hair extensions. I got one time the little clip bead thingies that were supposed to be more like permanent and better. And I had a huge allergic reaction where eventually, well, after 2 days, I had to take them all out. And that was a headache itself. But my hair got super stringy and I had to chop everything off and even shave like the little bottom part. Like it was that bad. So I was terrified, but I decided to get the normal clip extensions. So that's something else to consider. Or like keratin, hair dyeing, things like that. That all adds up. It depends on your budget, on the look that you want that day. So something else to consider is the makeup. I'm going with the hair and makeup artist. They're joined. I'm paying with roughly $400 for that, but it's because I'm getting like special things and including the hair extensions, adding them in. But it also depends on what you want. Some people charge extra for eyelashes, for touch ups, even for lipsticks. Like for me, I am gonna put my own color on the lipstick because first of all, I have a color that is beautiful and I want it to represent me, make me feel like me on that day, even though I'm gonna be all glammed up. And also because when I touch it up, I can just touch it up myself. I don't need someone to be helping me for something simple like that. So, things to consider as well. Then it's the tanning. So you have to book your tanning if you are, which I highly recommend. That's what I'm gonna do kind of early because there are not just bikini competitors, there's all kind of competitors, and you want to look good. You want to look uniform. So that's why I am doing it professionally done with them because they understand the lighting of the show. They have the same product for everyone. You don't want to like stand out in a bad way. Also, something else to consider is the timing. So I'm doing it very in the evening. I already booked it so that I made sure I had that slot. So when I just do my check-ins on Friday, then I just go home and go to sleep. I still have to buy like a robe or something. I'm thinking like they sell kind of like dresses with zippers. I think that's ideal because you have to like expose yourself and then, cover up. And also bed sheets are dark, like black, so they don't stain anything, especially if you guys are traveling. That's something very important so you don't get charged any fees for the tan. So, all things to consider. Also, skincare for tanning. So, you have to remove all the hair. So, next week I'm going to be trying this out as like a patch test and I'm going to be sharing it with you guys because I have sensitive skin. So, even though it says gentle, I want to make sure that this is the right thing for me, or shaving, waxing, whatever the case is, because I don't want any allergic reaction or anything like that happening right before the show. But also exfoliating, you have to be exfoliating from like now, 1 month out, to make sure that your skin is all smooth, especially like the joint areas, so the elbows, the knees, ankles, things like that that get kind of like more dry. You have to make sure that everything is smooth, as well as getting a little bit of sun. Like for me, I have to get a tiny bit of sun, just like 10 to 15 minutes a day with like my cool little goggles now, all profesh. Because if you're more fair, the tan can look streaky. And I'm already getting 2 base layers. So that's something else. The more layers you need, the more expensive it is. It's not by much, but roughly the tanning is $200 if you get it professionally done. Depends on the show, who it is, but that's something else to keep in mind. And something else is the actual classes that you're joining. So I am obviously doing True Novice because this is my only chance to do my first True Novice show. But there's other classes like Novice and Open. So those are also things to consider because depending on the show, each show has a different entrance fee and each class has its own entrance fee. So you can be paying just for one or you can be paying for two or three. Depends on how many chances you want to see if you win. I'm doing all three. So that's something else to consider per show. And the videographer and the photography is something else as well. But that's, yeah, I think I talked about that already. Yeah. So a lot of things to consider. Even though we are just chipping away, you have to make some time to really look into all of these things. And also, right now, I'm not, traveling, but in the future, I am planning on doing that. So stay tuned because eventually I will be showing you guys how I prep for a trip and the budgeting there too, because that's a whole entire different budget to consider with the hotel, the food, the flights, all of that, the equipment. If I bring like, little cookers or whatnot, which is going to be super fun, I think, right? Because, yeah, that's like a different level of prep. Like right now we're prepping, but that's like a different level, if you know what I mean. But those are all things to consider when you are competing. And that's my update for this week. I hope to catch you next week. Bye bye.